Hi everyone, my name is Marcel with Night Shift Sounds Entertainment, talking today about wireless mics for your wedding ceremony. Now this is something that not many people think about, but it's actually pretty important. I've talked with a lot of couples over the years and I've heard comments like we went to a ceremony and we couldn't hear the minister, or we couldn't hear the bride and groom give their vows. Mics kept cutting in and out. People who gave readings didn't even have a mic. And that's a shame. That's not the experience that you want for your guests at your ceremony. So wireless mics, or professional wireless mics, are absolutely essential. But what you don't want is a mic like this. For your minister, it's going to be really hard to have a mic in one hand and a book in another, and maybe the wedding rings at some point during the ceremony too. And what you really don't want is a mic placed on a stand right in the middle of the altar, ruining your ceremony photos. So what we use are wireless lapel mics like these. Consist of a transmitter, which is very compact and easily hides away right inside of a coat pocket, and then the mic itself. Very, very small, very inconspicuous, and almost invisible in photos. In a typical ceremony, we'll place one of these on the minister and another one on the groom. Now for a bride in a wedding dress, there's really no place for us to hide a transmitter. But these mics, even though they're very small, they're also very sensitive. And because they're wireless, we can control them remotely, turn the levels up here, so when it's time for the bride to give her vows, she can be heard through the mics on the minister and the groom. And of course, we have additional microphones for anyone else that might have a spoken part at your ceremony to make sure that your guests are able to hear everything. The system that we use for this is this guy right here. Now this is completely separate from what we use for the reception. So that means when the ceremony's done, we don't have to break down equipment and haul it inside, reset, reconnect everything to get the reception going. And of course, we can provide all of the music for your ceremony using this system. But we can also provide miking for instruments. Maybe for your ceremony, you're going to have a string quartet or acoustic guitars, keyboards. We can run those instruments through this system and make sure everything is EQ'd and balanced, again, so your guests are able to hear. Last thing I want to point out, in the center of this rack here are the wireless mic receivers. Top-end, professional level equipment. But one of the things that can cause problems with wireless mics is interference. So when we set up at a ceremony site, we have no way of knowing what other devices might be transmitting in the area. And things like two-way radios, intercom systems, even a wireless system that your videographer might be using. Those things can cause problems with wireless mics. But on our systems, we have a feature called auto scan. And what that does, we can simply hit a button and these systems will scan through 1,000 separate frequencies and tell us which ones are clear and open for us to use. So we can eliminate any interference, any signal loss, vocal dropout, or any other problems at your ceremony. So the question now is, what does it sound like? Well, I'm going to insert a clip of a ceremony that I did just a couple of months ago so you can get an idea of how this system actually sounds and performs in a live setting.
I, Andrew, take you, Rachel, to be my wife.
And I promise.
And I promise.
Before God and these witnesses.
Before God and these witnesses.
To be your loving and faithful husband.
To be your loving and faithful husband.
In plenty and in want.
In joy and in sorrow.
In joy and in sorrow.
In sickness and in health.
Sickness and in health.
As long as we both shall live.
As long as we both shall live.
And there you go. That was filmed from about 60 feet away from the altar using nothing but an iPhone. And you could clearly hear the minister, the groom, and even the bride. So imagine what a difference this system can make for your guest experience at your wedding ceremony. That's wireless mics done right. Again, my name is Marcel, Night Shift Sounds Entertainment, the Gulf Coast premier DJ and MC.